oh, remember these good rounded dramas with three-dimensional characters and points of views that they were not taxative and black and white and good and bad, and it's like superheroes. It's like all this shit that we're having every time. It's like, and it was finally a moment where like, oh yes, this is a good script. This is a good movie. Of course, based on something of a great writer. So I was like, if we could ever recover the good writing again.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, Nico.
Hello, Mercedes.
Hello.
Okay, so I'll introduce Mercedes because it's one of my specialties. Mercedes is a writer, director, also a wardrobe designer. Her latest film, Back Home, premiered at Tribeca, was part of the Rising Voices program, and is currently available in Hulu. She's a very rounded filmmaker. Mercedes is a college biennale in Venice alumni, and also she's married to me. Odd choice, right? But what are you going to do? She can have all the hits. Not everything that she makes is a hit. And, I'm very happy to have you, Mercedes. Like, I feel like I ruin your Sundays every time taping this podcast. So now you're part of it. You can't really complain. So I love that.
Yeah, I was wondering if the odd choice was yours or who was mine. Finally, I'm brave enough to be in this podcast. So hi, Helen. How are you?
I'm very good. Very happy that you are gracing us because it's so cool to see two creative people married. I feel like I don't really see that, And when I do, I'm like, how does that work? I don't think I could do it.
It's a challenge, but we made it work. What do you think, Mercedes?
Yes, it looks like it functions very well.
Yeah, we worked hard for this to make it happen. I think we had this priority. Maybe I'm talking from me now, but like we met already, both of us rounded artists. We were both in our 30s. So that helps because there was no self-doubts in any of us in that sense, in the career sense. And then we didn't have any doubt that we wanted this to work. And we found the boundaries and the rules of the game and when to collaborate and when to maybe not collaborate and how to play together this life game, I guess. But until now, 12 years together. So it's working.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think once you make it past that 10-year, you're golden.
Okay. Yeah.
We hope so.
I have to ask, how did you guys meet?
In a theater play.
Yeah, so I was invited to this theater play. I was in Buenos Aires prepping for my feature, which I shot in Argentina. And I was invited to go to this Friends and Family. Actually, I asked you about Friends and Family, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. When you do a play, sometimes you do a Friends and Family, it feels like less pressure, right? Was that the case for the play I watched, Michi, and I met you?
Yeah, it's like a pre-premiere. You get some input from people that you like, and then test some stuff. It's a way to warm up in a way with audience in the room.
I showed up and Mercedes opened the door. There was not that many people there. It was this small theater, and so we got to talk. And then what happened next?
They were early.
Look you up on Facebook, which is
that's how old we are. Something that people don't know much is that in Buenos Aires there are thousands of small theater plays. It's a very it's an incredible hub in that sense. So you can go to the theater from Monday to Monday, and sometimes it's in a regular theater, sometimes it's in the room of a house. It's like there's again thousands of theater plays and a lot of new writers, which I find very interesting. And it has its own code. It's not like sometimes I go here to the theater and I feel that it's like the old theater and it looks like it could always be a movie, cut to black, cut to black, cut to black. While the language, the theatrical language has really matured in Buenos Aires. There's something very unique in it. So back to this little theater play, this was like the pre-premiere of this small play, and I was doing wardrobe and I was doing also set design. They were early. I opened the door and I was on the phone. It was like one of the most stressful periods in my life because I was finishing my film school, premiering another play the next week, and then premiering this one. And I never imagined this man that got into the door, through the door was going to be my husband 12 years later.
I love it. I love it so much. You were like, on the most stressful day of my life, I also met the love of my life. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So I want to know updates, Helen. I want to know updates with you. This is Proof of Life.
Proof of Life. Let's do it. I am very excited because my show is on Tuesday the 30th. And then on the 1st of October, I'm going to go shadow on the show called The Neighborhood. I'm shadowing a director named Victor Gonzalez. He is a friend of mine, and he allowed me to come shadow this multicam. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's called The Neighborhood. It's starring Max Greenfield and Cedric the Entertainer. Like I said, multicam, which is kind of what I find myself like. The universe just brings me to the multicams. It's crazy. And
I love it.
theater, so I embrace it, but I don't necessarily watch the multicams, you know?
It's so interesting how like life keeps you dragging you back to something and until you have to listen and say, well, what is this about? Like, okay, you want me to do this? I can't I can't tell you the many times that I found myself embracing what I'm good at because of life keeps putting me back on that lane. Actually, we had a lot of conversations with Mercedes because she was, for the longest time, she was pushing me to do more animation and live action combined. When I did my first feature, I was like, no, I'm now a live action director. Nobody should know that I ever did animation.
Wow. Animation is the best. I love animation. I hope to one day make an animated series.
And we all love multicam. One of the most beloved things that we still go back to are multicam. Seinfeld, Friends. The things that we need the most are multicam shows, right? Like people crave that kind of like fast-paced, well-written kind of stuff.
It's just annoying that I think I associate multicams with such an antiquated view of the world. Like Friends, for example, it's such a white show.
You mean
such a white show. It's inhabited traditionally by a lot of white people, and I feel like there's not a lot of diversity in that space, but
do you think that's the multicam or is the 90s and the 90s, the early 2000s, TV industry? We are not white for the American standards, and everybody loves Friends. There's some universal thing happening in it,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
What about Modern Family? Like, I think it's one of the most successful sitcoms of all time, right? And Sofia Vergara was the lead on that. She was the best paid actor.
With a very thick accent.
Doing it.
So Modern Family is actually a single cam.
No.
Modern Family is a sitcom, yes, but it's a single cam. It's a comedy single cam. Multicam is like Happy's Place. Happy's Place is multicam. 3 cameras. And to be fair, Happy's Place does have 2 Latinos in the cast, and I've been lucky enough to work with them, and I like
wrote for that show.
Yeah, I wrote for the show. So I like that it's moving in that direction. I think that if that were the case, I could see myself liking the format more. But like I said,
do you think that if it was updated thematically, you would be, as a way of expressing a story, do you like it beyond the thematical associations because you've associated with like all white television?
Well, it's funny because Happy's Place, I thought would be that. But because there were so many older white men running the show, it became just like another old school multicam. So I would love if the networks and the buyers could take a chance on up and coming younger creatives, POCs, and see what they could come up with. I think that could be something.
Nice. And you like the process of the multicam, like having an audience? Is like an audience a must for a multicam show?
Yeah, it's a must for a multicam show, and it's like theater. I loved we have these things in multicams called a run through, and it's like the Family and Friends. It's like a run through where the studio execs and the network execs come and they watch it, and it's a little bit low pressure, but it's the execs, and you get to work out the kinks and you see what works and what doesn't work. Hopefully it all works because these execs need it to work because it's like 2 days after that run through. So it's fun in that it is fast paced, I like that. So
yeah, I was gonna tell you, like, there's a lot of theatricalness in it. Audience, live, one stage. I think it's a great marriage between TV or film and theater, and you're in both, so embrace it.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Mercedes?
In which sense? What am I doing?
Like
anything that comes up, anything that comes to you.
I'm writing. I am also working as a wardrobe designer in a couple of projects, and I'm gonna direct my first commercial this week. So, yes, I am. So basically, I'm exhausted, if that's the question.
I was just saying, I'm bringing hydration, I'm bringing meals, I'm bringing anything necessary for the success of this endeavor because it's very important for the family. So we're very proud,
Well,
very happy.
Mercedes, tell me a little bit about what's happening because it's like I guess you're in prep and Nico's bringing you food and water. I don't understand.
I am in prep in a few preps. I'm gonna say I'm like prepping 3 jobs at the same time. So in this home, Nico is the one who cooks. He's a good cook. He's the only one who knows how to cook in this house. So he makes sure that I don't forget to eat. I don't forget to drink water, and helps me also technically because there are things that this family also works. I think we were talking about the artist couple is because there's a balance. Nico is more geeky, more techie, and I'm more crafty. Even if the food is crafted, that's on his department, but let's separate that part. So he's also helping me with some technical things that I need, or some programs that I'm a little bit rusted, maybe because I didn't use them all the time. And
I'm mainly in support, like, water, air, breathing air, eating food, drinking water, the basic like fun life function.
What he's not doing though is keeping the cats not to fight. They're like fighting all the whole day. So I don't know, they're fighting all the time.
Out of my reach.
Nico's doing his best.
Yeah. Beasley and Marfa are not doing their best. It's like they're
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot in your plate. I am writing. I am starting my Oscar campaign next month with the resources that we could gather up, and I am working on that animation short that I mentioned before. So still churning at it. I was just saying, I feel like committed to too many things in my life, and now I'm trying to deal with everything the best I can, and hoping both that a job comes in and pays for the bills, and at the same time a job does not come in because I don't have the time for it. So that's my life.
Yeah.
I see that I'm entertaining.
We're not free here. I wanted to say something. Your Oscar campaign is for the short film Border Hopper. Yeah. We co-wrote it together. We filmed it we shot it in this house. Yeah, because it's something that happened to this couple. Yeah. We shot it in our place. Nico directed. Then for the animation, there was a moment that we needed to do some
motion capture.
Motion capture. I got the suit and I was playing all the characters that Nico was filming and translating that into animation and his drawings. So it's a family.
That's so cool, Mercedes. I didn't know you co-wrote that. That's awesome. Congrats. I mean, that short, I got to see it and it was great. So I'm excited for the Oscar campaign. Good vibes.
It's a good theme for the times that we're going through.
Truly.
Helen, I want to know something because last time in the last episode we talked about PTA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're too tired to tell us about PTA because I know you've been researching how did he make it.
Okay. PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, director, very relevant right now because of his film One Battle After Another. It is apparently his most expensive film. And yeah, it's funny. I was listening to I was listening to The Town and they were talking about the casting. They were like, this is the cheapest film that Leo's done, but it's PTA's most expensive film. And I'm like, what? How? I don't know. But let's talk about how he made it. He actually was born here in California, in Studio City. Born in 1970, he grew up around entertainment because his dad was a voiceover announcer. So he's kind of a Nepo baby, you guys.
He's a little bit of a Nepo baby, huh?
Informed. I would say informed.
Yeah.
Born in the middle bit.
He was obsessed with filmmaking from a young age and was experimenting with his dad's cameras all the time. He briefly attended film school. He went to Emerson in Boston, then did a little bit of NYU, the film school, but he dropped out because he preferred hands-on learning, which I also am a huge advocate for. Don't really need to go to film school. And then in the 1990s, he began working as a PA on TV, on films and game shows, but he was writing scripts on the side. Then at 22, he decided to put it all on his credit cards and fund and make this 20-minute short called Cigarettes and Coffee.
That sounds so terrifying. It sounds terrifying when people max out credit cards to do a film. I mean, could you imagine?
But that's because we don't have the same credit cards these people had.
True, too. I guess like when your parents are fine and you're not going to inherit debt from them, it's safer to take on credit card debt.
It's like his student loans.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I haven't seen the short, but the short did premiere at Sundance Film Festival and it got a lot of attention. So off of that momentum, he got into the Sundance Lab with the idea for his first feature, which eventually became Hard 8, this was back in 1996.
I saw Hard Eight. It's amazing.
Oh, really?
It's with John. It's a movie about a kid. And it's like the world of gambling, and it's
Oh.
it's very very like Altman-esque.
Well,
You know?
the studio ended up recutting it against his wishes. And it was shown at the Cannes Film Festival and it impressed a lot of people. Cut to Boogie Nights. I love Boogie Nights. This was 1997 ensemble drama about
The
20th
first, and the first take, best first take ever, right? Like the entrance of the film is insane. Yeah.
So yeah, it established his reputation, and from there he went on to do Magnolia, which I haven't seen, Punch Drunk Love, which I did see, There Will Be Blood, and
Magnolia is
Magnolia is
my favorite.
insane.
You have to see Magnolia. I think it's better than. I mean, Boogie Nights is memorable, but Magnolia is so deep.
Agree.
I always thought Magnolia came first before Boogie Nights, though.
No, and he had the star of the moment. Yeah, he had this. I think he was 30 years old, and he had Tom Cruise who was the star, the big star at the moment.
Okay.
And yeah, the film is insanely good. You have to watch it.
The energy of that film, the energy of Magnolia, it never stops. It's breathless.
I think it's still my favorite film of his whole career. I haven't seen the last one, so
We're going next week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna regroup on this.
yes, I'm watching it tonight, so we will definitely.
3 weeks talking about PTA.
PTA week.
It's fine. It's fine.
It deserves it.
So, Helen, I want to know, what are you watching? And I'm going to tell you what am I watching and what we watched together.
Yeah,
discuss.
let's talk about what we watched together.
You want to do that?
Kiss of the Spider Woman. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we went together to do a screening of Kiss of the Spider Woman. I think for me and for Mercedes, it hits home because it's based on a novel by a very celebrated writer called Manuel Puig. It's an Argentine writer from the 60s and 70s era. Before we dive into Manuel Puig, but I think we owe Manuel a little bit of homage. I think talking about this movie, I'm a hard audience for that movie because of course you're faced with all the authenticity. It's a movie that is about this political dissident and this guy that end up in the same cell. And the political dissident is there because he's a left-wing activist, right? And this in the middle of the dictatorship, so he's abducted for interrogation. The other guy is basically a queer person that is there just because of his
Sexual orientation. Yeah.
right? So very different people, but then end up in the same cell, and they have very, very different life views.
So it
Now,
was a play before.
it's a novel, and then it was a musical, a very celebrated musical. Then it became many movies. I think there were movies.
No, it's first the novel by Manuel Puig. Then it was a script, a movie. Then from the movie they did the theater musical, and then now back to another movie that takes the musical part. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. And it's starring J-Lo, it's starring Diego Luna, and it's starring Tonatilla.
And because it happens in Argentina, we're a hard audience because, well, we're checking authenticity, we're checking that it feels right. I think the movie succeeded in kind of like telling the core story of the novel and representing the values of the novel. So, I really enjoyed it. I really loved it.
Good.
What do you think, Mercedes?
Yeah, I did like it a lot. I love the novel. I love Manuel Puig. At some point, we can disclose this. We went to this premiere, and then one of the actors were there. You pronounce it differently than I pronounce. So if you can pronounce his name,
Tonatilla?
Okay. So he's the the star. So
In the movie.
yeah, I think he's a revelation. Definitely, he's a revelation. And he says like the big talent, the big stars of the moment are in the movie because of Diego Luna and J-Lo, like basically big names in the industry. But I would argue that there was a previous big name that is Manuel Puig. Is one of the most important writers in Spanish in the 20th century. And I was surprised that he didn't know that, or maybe he's too young. But I think the text is incredibly rich and beautiful and deep, and that I do appreciate that the movie keeps, because we've been watching lately, and we will go back to that. But like some of the Robert Redford's movie, because he died, and it's like I haven't seen that one. I'm from the beginning and blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, remember these good rounded dramas with 3-dimensional characters and points of views that they were not taxative and black and white and good and bad, and it's like superheroes. It's like all this shit that we're having every time. I was like, and it was finally a moment where like, oh yes, this is a good script. This is a good movie. Of course, based on something of a great writer. So I was like, if we could ever recover the good writing again. So, yeah.
I think that part of what it makes it great, I think, is the fact that the movie, so the actual story tackles this worldview split between the entertainment industry and pop culture and love for movies and love for that surface level culture, and the opposite view of the political activist that is saying like, no, this is a serious world full of problems, full of drama, full of injustice situations, and we need to fight for it, right? And somehow those two worldviews are starting to merge through the movie. So it's a very rich, I think, dialectical opposition of those 2 points of view. And the movie does that very well. I think it confronts you with, it's always defending both points of view, which I think is very interesting and very nuanced. It's saying, yeah, it's important to fight for what's just in life. At the same time, we can celebrate culture and we can celebrate pop culture. And sometimes things that may look superficial have a depth to them that we haven't seen on the first read. So
Yeah.
that is pretty much what I think he was doing in the 60s, because if you think about so the 60s and 70s in Latin America, the literary scene is dominated by magic realism, right? We still know and associate Latin American culture with magic realism. So ghosts are coexistent with people, there's spells, like everything is like magic emerges in real life, and the most mundane things are coexist with the very transcendental, mystical things. What Puig was doing was completely different. He was actually reading mass pop culture. He was reading media, and he was getting influence and working off of telenovelas and working off of chismes and gossip, working off of what people were saying in the street, and mixing that with the amazing writing. So that went really against the grain of everything that was being written, because everybody else was writing magic realism and very broad things, and he was mixed. Would you agree, Mercedes, with this?
Yeah, I would say, like, you have magic realism and you have also very existential writing. You have Borges at the same time, who's like about ideas and myths. It's like it's a whole, and the world, and the big world, like the whole globe, and myths from every culture. And then suddenly you have Puig, who comes from a small town. He's a gay guy. And he writes, the best thing he has is how he listens to the characters. He's a dialoguist. It's like the best dialogues ever, because he's famous for having recorded people, so his characters speak like the people spoke. And that was very new at the moment. It was not these big words and wonderful flourished writing. It was like more about, okay, who is this? That's why I think he was the one to break into Hollywood, to sell some scripts. He ended up dying in exile. He had a tough life, but he left us an amazing work in his writing. So how do you say that? He left us an amazing una obra.
Body of work.
Body of work, thank you. He left us an amazing body of work. And that is, I think, what we can celebrate. And I'm celebrating so much that the film brings him back to life, because I adore his writing.
I love how passionate you guys are about this artist. Yeah, I didn't know anything about him. So
nobody knows.
Problem. But RIP, and thank goodness that he left us this body of work. I'm going to look into reading that book. Do you recommend?
Yes. And I would say a little gossip, like honoring the gossip side of him. The first Kiss of the Spider-Woman, the first movie, it was done by Sonia Braga. And Sonia Braga was Robert Redford's girlfriend for a while. And also she played in one of his movies. So world is connected. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Sonia Braga is a Brazilian superstar.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I want to encourage anyone who's listening to this, to go see the movie. It is truly fantastic. It's got 3 Latin American stars. Tonatiuh was incredible, carried the entire film. J-Lo was kind of in it, but she wasn't.
I was surprised. I would say I'm not a fan. I would say in Latin America, she's not that big as here. So for me, she's an American icon, which is, part of the nuances. But I thought she did a great job. I was surprised. And she was dancing. Yeah, she can dance. She's what, 50, 52, something like that?
Dude, that's incredible. Those musical numbers are made on old school, right? So they have like a wide angle shot. They never cut. Yeah. And she needs to keep the pace of the scene on her own in very sprawling dancing scenes. And she manages to do that on the dime. Like her tempo is perfect. I was very surprised. She looks amazing. With a little bit of
Yeah.
mostly, but
Can we stop doing that blur? Like the directors who are looking at this podcast, can we stop blurring the faces of your older stars? We have wrinkles. It's fine.
No.
Thank
It wasn't the director. That was J-Lo. J-Lo would
Probably, yeah.
not allow.
Do not accept. Do not accept that. It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
I think she looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
We have society to blame for the pressure that women have to look young, even when they're in their mid-50s. Like, no, that is not J-Lo's fault. It's society's fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really enjoyed the film, and you should go watch it. It'll be out in theaters soonish, probably next week. I don't know. I made that up. But yeah, Mercedes, we ask our guests, what is your definition of making it?
My definition of making it. It's a tough question, because sometimes you compare that making it with what your expectations were based on society and what success looks outside. But at the end, I've been reflecting on this a lot lately. And it's like, I think making it is being happy in my own skin and having experienced a life full of love, creativity, and connection. And that is making it. And if in the middle I can make a couple of movies, then I love it.
Love that definition. It's very well put. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
You can sub in for Nico and his host.
Whoa.
My English is not as fluent as Nico. I want to talk about your dogs too, but yeah.
This is great. Your English is great. But yeah, it's been lovely having you. Good luck with your commercial. Good luck with your films. And I'm excited to see more of the work that you're going to do. Oh, little tangent. I saw you posted a sculpture class on Instagram.
Yes.
And I followed the person because I'm hoping that in the future I can take one of those classes.
Amazing. Ale is the best teacher. And I do sculpting too, aside from all the things that I do. And I can't recommend more putting your hands on clay and learning the patience that the clay required, the attention, leaving your screens outside, and then connecting with the earth for a moment.
Sounds beautiful. It sounds beautiful. All right. Well, Good luck, guys, with the rest.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for having me.